do these live on my Instagram account, but Instagram's being bratty, so I'm going to do this for my YouTube account. All right, so this is one of my favorite things. My husband put this up. He was worried I would hate it. I don't know how he does not know me after 15 years. I love it. That sign is awesome. We have Cat watching the entire world. I just planted this last year and it's doing really well. This is a red rose. It's doing nicely. Grapevines are doing really well. They're coming up. That is a curry plant at the bottom. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I really strongly believe in planting things right at tree bases. I do a lot of peas right on trees and let the peas climb up and use the tree for structure, which is what I'm doing with my fig tree right now. It's a goji berry and a apple tree that I am trying to train up and over. And he's really chatty. He wants to talk a lot. Over here on the patio, I have a blueberry, I have a wisteria that's growing really nicely, and a raspberry, which is going insane. I also use this for my propagation of plants. Thank you very much. And it's just loose soil. It's really easy to just put some rooting hormone on a plant I'm propagating, plop it in, and see how it does, and then replant it later. I'm going to do a lot more with this area. I just haven't really figured it out yet. All right, so going up, we have the lemons as we walk through. And I am in a really hot area. I know it doesn't look like it, and right now it's not, but it will get there soon. We have all of our little sages here and our salvias. They do nicely in the heat, and they protect the roots of my vines. I started growing these just to keep my chickens in shade during the heat. It's like, I think 2 or 3 different types of passion fruit I grew up there. This is the little pomegranate that is getting swallowed up. I need to figure something else out for it. And this is my pink lady apple tree. It's doing really nicely. I am training it to grow up and over this just because I'm curious. Let's see how that goes. My mom worked so hard and created this amazing space. She's still working on it. It's not quite done yet, but I still want to show off her work as this has changed everything. I have Ehlers-Danlos, so I used to not be able to get up here easily without getting hurt. Any slip or slide can put me in bed for months, so she came out here and dug everything up and did a beautiful job. My peach tree started blooming. I don't think it understands it's about 2 months too early, but it is really beautiful, so I'll enjoy that. And I have my little butterfly bush that I trained up and over. Over here, I have another, oh gosh, breathing is difficult today. I have another passion fruit growing. This wasn't so shaded before, so I don't know how these things are going to do this year, but you can see my mulberry is doing really well. You can see it sort of starting to sprout. And I don't actually like mulberries. I grow that specifically for the chickens. They love them, and it drops in there, and they get very, very happy and competitive. This is my pear tree. I'm hoping we actually get something from it. It's a Moonglow pear, and I think I've only gotten 1 pear from it. It might just be in too sunny of a space. I haven't figured it out yet. And I also don't have many other spaces, as you'll see. It's a 5,000 square foot spot, and this is just the backyard of it. Peach tree here is doing really well and happy. Now, this is my mom's crowning achievement. She created a chunnel. So they have a really nice space in here, a little backyard chicken space. It is a storage shed that was here when we bought the house. And we have a nesting spot right here. And then we have a really cool roosting spot that she made. This is their little tunnel to that outside area covered in vines, which they like because it's really nice and sunny and it keeps them warm in the morning. So I'm just kind of letting them keep it. Here's the babies. That is Mother Clucker back there. And here's Boudica trying to get to my feet. They have a grandpa's chicken feeder, which is the best thing ever. So I'm disabled and I can't always get up here. This is amazing. This grandpa's feeder, I'll put a link in the description for everyone, but it is fantastic. And it means that the chickens can eat even if I can't get out there. Hey now, not nice. Okay, I'm getting pecked. I'm gonna split. So this is how they get out, is right here. All right, bye Boudica. Bye Brett. This is the one who's pecking my kneecaps. Okay, so over here, this is where they get to be, since they would constantly go into areas they weren't supposed to be and eat all of my little baby plants. They actually sat here and watched because I was planting spinach in here. And they just stood there and watched me plant the spinach. It was oddly satisfying, I won't lie. We had to put a roof on the chunnel because the chickens were actually jumping out. They could get about 4 feet. I mean, this is some serious athleticism. Here's Meows, the guardian of all things amazing. This is my happy space. I sit here all the time and do most of my daydreaming here. Inside there, this is a tough shed. It has an upstairs loft. It used to be my photography studio. I can't really do that anymore, but now it's sort of a really neat daydreamy spot. So I often sit here and write. I work on things. This is where I make jewelry when my hands work. That is an area I cannot get up to anymore. That is where my teenager goes to hide. And these are some leftover props from my old photography days. But this is kind of a happy place where I can be alone. I cannot tell you how grateful I am, especially during COVID, that this exists. Not so grateful about the cat, though. I'll get him later. He's a brat. He goes up there all the time. So this is kind of my view when I sit from my little chair, as you can see. And then we have over here the last part of my garden. These are Amistad Sages. They're fantastic. I have a grapevine that I really need to train better, but it grows into this beautiful arbor in the summer. And I grew it with a David Austin rose, which smells amazing. I have a huge addiction issue with David Austin roses. I say Jane Austen there. My apologies. I have a pomegranate that's growing pretty nicely right here, and a beautiful pear tree when it decides to actually give me pears, which is always nice. I'm also training an apple tree to become part of this arbor. And it seems to be really helpful lately. So when trees are young and bendy, you can kind of train them to do whatever you'd like them to do. If you want to train them into arbors, you just sort of wrap them down to that shape and they harden into it. This is the peach tree. One last blossom. Everything else has already turned into peaches, which is kind of crazy considering it's March. This is my beautiful apple tree. And this is the first year I get to plant things in my vegetable boxes because no chickens. Yay! This is another David Austin. It gets to be about, I don't know, 7-8 feet tall. It's stunning and it smells amazing. It has bright orange flowers. I'll show that when it starts to be that time again. Over here, these boxes, I have currants, I have a jasmine, I have a magnolia, which is not doing well. I've got to replant that one. This is a volunteer. I have no idea what it is. If you do, please let me know. This guy here is a beautiful maple. We've got to clean this area up, but once it's cleaned up in the summer, it's going to be amazing. I keep a giant rosemary right here. And I have thornless blackberries growing on this side with a pomegranate. And in here I have a Fuji apple tree that I will be planting a whole bunch of other veggies in here soon. I don't know what, but we'll see.